Hello, and welcome to Unexplained Possibilities Podcast. I'm your host, Melvin the Crimson Taurus, and unfortunately, Niema can't be here with us. She is busy creating her bikini line. If you guys haven't seen that, go to her Instagram and check it out. Quite a few sexy ladies posing in it as well. If I could whistle, I would do a cat call noise, but I can't. But anyway, as you guys know, if I'm doing a podcast, I am not alone, and today is no exception. Coming to us from across the nation and back again to dazzle us with pagan information. And if you ever wondered and pondered about the world abound, then sit down and listen as our two guests share knowledge they found. Please welcome from two pondering pagans, Mystic and Rook.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you. It's
What an intro.
It's always an honor to be on Unexplained. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, and I'm happy you like my little intro.
It's too cool. Awesome.
Oh, but how are you guys? What's been happening? Because it's been a long time since we spoke. Last time it was you, Adius, and Curtis, and now jump ahead in 2025, and holy cow, it's been a while. So what's been going on with you guys?
The world has changed around us, and we have had to adapt. I mean, for me, a lot of work things have changed, but more importantly, I've been able to do a lot of empathetic retrospection is what I'm calling it. And that is just engaging with things I wouldn't normally engage with. Dungeons and Dragons is one. Never played it. Had friends who did. Out of my lane, uncomfortable doing role-playing, stuff like that. Started playing that, put myself in those seek discomfort situations. From a pagan perspective specifically, it's really been about not so much trying to learn new things, but trying to really take a look at what we've been doing over the past few years and really applying it and making sure that we're not just gathering knowledge for the sake of knowledge. That's been my last couple of years.
I feel like before we would be like reading, I would read all the books I can, try to get involved in all the programs, whatever to learn, and really try just daily to bless you.
Excuse me.
To focus, to kind of disconnect from the fast pace of things and notice the application of magic or just quiet moments in daily life. And it's been really nice. And I've kind of improved upon that and been able to not looking forward or what I've got to do or learn next, but what have I experienced or read about and how can I experience now?
Oh, right on.
Experience.
And Mystic, you mentioned D&D. That is so funny you mentioned that because I kid you not, last night I was on Reddit and just reading up various Dungeons and Dragons stories and groups and all that. I don't play. I just like hearing what people have to say about it. So that's so weird. You bring it up right when I was researching that or reading about it for the first time in like 20 years. So weird.
Yeah, I've been pushing myself really hard to be in that state of slight discomfort of things that I wouldn't normally do to kind of express myself in a different way. Because fear holds us back in a lot of things, and those fears are almost always unfounded.
Yeah, that's
almost always.
Yeah, but you can also see it as a protector as well. And fear, it probably stops us from doing a lot of stupid stuff. But as you said, too much of it cripples us and we are unable to go forward. So being able to face your fears little by little, that's huge. Like, even if it's only a tiny baby step, something's better than nothing. And I commend you for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I look at it like, we there's a lot of anxiety, and anxiety expressed at a high level is fear. Anxiety is designed to protect us, to be aware of your surroundings, a little bit of it, just enough of it to say, oh, that situation might be dangerous. Let me think about it. But when we have fear of things like like my fear of being ridiculed in a group prevents me from experiencing things that I might otherwise want to experience. Yeah, it's time to work through some of those things.
Yeah. And Rook, what's one of your fears?
I think so it's true over the past few years I've been trying to deal with a focus problem and going through different things like with medication wise and sometimes when I would do that I would feel disconnected, from magical or mystical energy. So I've really worked on that and how to kind of connect to that,
Mhm.
even when I'm managing my focus stuff, because I don't want everything to be quieted or shut off. So I think something that I'm scared of. I've been doing the Dungeons and Dragons too, and
Mhm.
that's a lot of fun. I think that's one thing is to be so not even with the mundane world, but to get my focus under control without losing touch with or having a numbness to the magic and mystical, which I've kind of experienced a little bit of.
I-
I don't want to lose that.
It almost sounds like you don't want to lose who you specifically are. And of course, like you said, that connection, but it's finding a balance as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you don't want to be jumping all over the place and just woo, you don't want to do that. But,
Yeah.
Which you
Which I do.
do.
I do. Yeah.
so,
You do.
And look, somebody said something one time, or it was a meme. I didn't create it. It was like, "Oh, I love your personality." It says, "Thanks." Disorder. Like, you don't want to be so far in left field where you're thinking, "Oh my God, what is that connection?" Things like, oh, just calm down and really tune into to what it is and what's meaningful, and not scatterbrains.
okay. So do you guys bring some of your pagan knowledge and lore to D&D, like your characters?
I think so. I think that one of the really cool things is we found a DM, a dungeon master, which is also of the pagan community. So some of the things they design have those touches. But we absolutely do. I know I do. It's funny because we talk a lot about, or we used to talk a lot about magic and the mundane. Like that was kind of a theme for us for a while until we realized like, magic doesn't need to be in the mundane. It just needs to be magic. They're both the same world. And so we start colliding those things together just in daily practice, which has changed that. That's another topic. But when it comes to D&D, yeah, just like my problem, or not problem, my relationship with video games, they allow you to experience situations that you would never experience and kind of extrapolate and evaluate what your thought processes and decisions would be, and then apply them to real life. So with Dungeons and Dragons, it's kind of the same thing. You go in and yes, I am a wood elf wizard, I think.
Mm.
And when I'm in that world, I am a wood elf wizard. I'm still me because I'm the one that created him. So it's a figment or part of my truth. And then I can apply different things to how he moves around in the world and his backstory is, and how he uses his magic and why he uses his magic. And all of that comes from my life story in real life and kind of my pagan belief system. Because, when I'm there, I'm Eason, which is his name.
And the two in both of those things, I feel like Dungeons and Dragons and video games, they have correspondences to magic. A lot of them involve like the elements, earth, air,
For
fire,
sure.
water. Like you said, the wizards, some kind of witchiness, magic of different kinds. And so it's kind of a natural flow to tie those things in a fun way.
Well, I think bigger than that, it's not so much that I bring in spirituality into the D&D game, but I'm working really hard right now to bring my magic and my real world together into one thing, and so it naturally bleeds into everything I do. And it's a much more satisfying version of paganism where I don't have to go out and experience magic. Everything is magic, and
Yeah.
experience the world that way. It really changes. It makes things so much more enjoyable to me.
Nice. That's interesting. I like that.
Yes. All right, but what is magic to you then, to both of you?
Ooh. Magic to me, let me say first what magic is in D&D. In D&D, it is the full mastery of channeling everything in the world that you can and can't see to make your mission happen, whether it's to protect your family, avenge your family, explore. And so that's magic in Dungeons and Dragons. Like you can use magic to grow thorns out of the ground. And we can't use a spell in real world and make magic, thorns grow out of the ground. But what we can do is set our intentions in a way that our actions follow it and what we're trying to manifest in the real world happen. That's what magic is in the real world for me.
And for me, I've been working on a lot to stop like thinking about things and try to remember that all we have literally is this moment. We don't have yesterday anymore. Tomorrow may not be here. And in doing so, magic to me is literally looking at the sunset here. I've never seen a more beautiful sunset with colors. That's magic to me. Waking up when the rain is coming down or the wind. When I get a letter from or a note from my mom or family, like that kind of love magic, that's part of it. And in that, it helps me when I'm focusing my intentions on what I want to work on, take in that energy from those everyday, seemingly little things that are just natural or non-magical, and then help me with that focus and energy when I'm doing to try to remember that everything is. Breathing's magic, the heart's magic. It beats. It's a machine, and just trying to use all the things that occur naturally as a focus for what I want to do.
And some people I think will say that what you're describing is science. I'm like, but yeah, there's science that can explain what's happening here, but to me, there's still some unknown version of something that's allowing science to exist. So in that way, it's kind of magic.
Yeah, well, the saying is magic is science that's still unknown or something like that.
Yeah.
And Rook, it also sounds like your magic comes from appreciation, which is something in itself magical because a lot of times we really don't appreciate what's around us, waking up and, like you said, a freaking sunset, like a sunset over water or some trees or whatever. It looks pretty freaking amazing and relaxing.
And there's two, if I may, just real quick examples of that for me. One was about 4 years ago. I don't remember. I remember I was having a crummy day, crummy week, and then the mail came. For some reason, I got like 3 cards from and one of them, 2 cards and a letter from my grandmother, and that, like reading those, it immediately hit me that energy, like hard, comforting, like
Words are
family,
magic.
and it was like I was so affected right there. And then another one was my dad passed recently last month, and we weren't close. And I always just thought, when he passed away, it would be like another person, just somebody unknown, in the universe, that it wouldn't really affect me. We knew that his time was coming to an end, and so I had the chance to go and visit, and it really, his death really affected me a lot harder than I thought, and just going that last visit to talk and connect was pretty powerful. So yeah, appreciation definitely. Try to.
Yeah, it puts things into perspective because, a lot of times, unfortunately or fortunately, depending, people, when they hear magic, they usually think of Harry Potter and shooting a fireball, or, and I'm guilty of this one, or you think about,
Yeah.
um, like, okay, I can poof some money to me real quick. Like, I can do this. Come on.
But I mean, that is magic, right?
Yeah.
Even Harry Potter is magic. Think of, despite our feelings on the author and creator, the words on those pages that became a movie that was interpreted by humans and their personalities and the things that they brought of their talents culminated in this massive thing that made people feel
Yeah.
and be a part of something and not feel alone. And people identified with him under the staircase and not being loved by family and being out of place. And the amount of feels you get from the words, all those things came from words, came from somebody's mind, misguided as that person can be, came from somewhere. And that to me is the real magic in our world, is that cycle of things that just, those things all came together. Like the people, the ancestors that what's his face, all of the staff, the actors, you know, their ancestors didn't exist, then they wouldn't exist, which means this story couldn't exist the way it did. I think it's amazing to see or think. First of all, it's phenomenally sad for me that people don't believe in magic. But it is amazing to me to just think of magic in the way of, there's just something more and bigger out there, and it's there. We all can access it, and we all can use it to try to make the world a better place for us, and we should use it for that.
It's a mindset. Magic is a mindset, partially, to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not the poofing magic on Baldur's Gate 3 is not the magic that we can do in the world, but it's not any less real, because you're taking out the enemy that is harming people and protecting your people. Like, that's magic. I have experienced that, but I will never be a magician that can send lightning bolts from his fingers. But I was when I played Baldur's Gate, and I did it for the reason of protecting my family. That's just magic to me.
Yeah. And you touched on something, you probably didn't even realize it, but you touched on one of the most powerful forms of magic, and that is words.
Yes.
Words are powerful. They have so much control. Even, like if we want to break it down, your name, my name, everyone's name. If someone gets your name, they can do things with it. And, they can apply for a credit card or debit card or whatever. Just do some nefarious stuff. And that's very powerful. Or they could do some not so nefarious thing. They might donate to a cat charity or something, as an example. So then when we get to writing and using our words, it creates an influence, and it can create a more hostile world or a very loving world, or a mix of both if you want to go into fandoms. So,
very accurate.
But it's very interesting. So yeah, words are probably one of the most powerful forms of magic, and I suppose it's a good thing not everyone is able to put their words down and use them correctly, but at the same time, look at the worlds that words have created. For me, it was Star Wars. Well, before the dark times anyway, the Disney times, but I love Star Wars. I was a huge Star Wars fanatic. I had just about every book in the expanded universe comics. I was into it. So, and it's funny because what you said resonates so well. It was me going into this different world, especially because I love Luke Skywalker, and seeing his journey from farm boy to hero to redeemer, and then in the expanded universe, the real expanded universe, just all powerful, wise man. And it just resonated so well. It's like, whoa, all right, this is awesome. I could see me like that. Part of the reason why I like Aladdin so much. But
yeah.
But
I mean, it's not just fantasy, right?
No.
For the time you're in that story, you are in that story, and you are experiencing those feelings and those victories and failures, and it's such a big thing. It's why when people ask me, like, what's my favorite book ever, and I know we've talked about this before, it's The Name of the Wind.
Awesome
because the whole
book.
premise, I mean, and I read it years ago, like before it was ever even known, like when it first came out. And the idea that you can have control over things when you know their name but then you exercise restraint not to destroy it. It's just, I mean, to me, that's a life altering experience.
Yeah. And this has nothing to do with anything, but Patrick really needs to get that third freaking book out.
I know.
It's been like 10 years. Like, like, come on, dude. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
don't rush an artist. I get it, but you know, come on.
Yeah, he needs to make it happen.
So,
Is it the Wise Man's Fear? I
yeah,
think?
the second one's Wise Man's Fear.
Yeah.
And
Not as good as the first one, but it was still really good.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. But the first one, well, this is how I see it. Usually the first books are always better. First stories in a series are always better because everything is unknown. It draws you in and you're trying to figure it out and see this world. Usually the follow-ups aren't as good because now you're in the world. You sort of know what to expect.
And you want it to do something specific.
Yeah, and when it doesn't, you get disappointed, which that happened to me with Beyonders by Brandon Mule, and I got so mad. So this is telling on me. Whenever I read a book and it's just no good at the end, or it's just something that I didn't like, it just turns me off of reading for a good while. So and I'm just like, I don't care. And Beyonders did that to me where I don't care. I am so mad because this took a stupid turn and I loved the first book. Why would you do this? You know, I was personally hurt. And and then you know what book I read after that when I finally got it back into the mood for reading? And I was like, all right, let's do this. Demons and Familiars.
Nice.
So,
that's a way to ease back in, isn't
it? So
that is good.
If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Unexplained Possibilities, Demon and Familiar review and Demon Diller review, and you'll get it.
Yeah, I actually have watched those.
Yeah, so I
watch them.
I was not happy in Demon Diller review. Like I think that was a 40-minute review.
Yeah, I remember not so. I mean, you were even scowling at it the whole time, which is fair because I think I would do the same thing.
Yeah, so I was not a happy Melvin, which normally I try to be. You know, I don't want to be a jerk or anything, but just I was not happy.
That is so hilarious.
But yeah, so you guys can check that out. But yeah, so it happens to you. Like you read something and it's like, this took a turn not in a good way and you just stop. It's like, I can't right now.
Yep. So. I was getting to there in Mass Effect when, you know, certain parts of the story, like, you know, he dies or what. I'm like, you've got to be, I can't do this.
Yes.
And then I get very emotional with books and video games because I just get really connected into them. And when Mass Effect 3 ended, I'm pissed still. I'm still angry.
Yeah. Don't play Lost Odyssey. I
see it now. Here's the thing. I need to know why, because the problem is I desire that feeling.
Oh gosh.
So
okay. So
you've been out of it the last 24 hours.
Definitely.
He's been seriously.
I have post-game depression.
Physical symptoms.
Oh no. Lost Odyssey. It's a 360 RPG. Like one of my favorite all-time RPGs, turn-based, and it has. It's by the Gooch. The guy who created the Final Fantasy series, and it's one of the most depressing games I have ever played. And
Lost Odyssey,
like
I love turn-based games.
It's an awesome game. The story's really good, but I tell everyone, if you are an emotional person and you don't like bad things happening or whatnot, don't play this game. Like the first 15 hours, you're not going to like it because it is so depressing and sad and nothing goes right.
I
To
wonder, is it PC or is it
it's
console too?
it's on Xbox. It's backwards compatible. So you could play it on the Series X or S or whatever.
We may have to get one now. We don't have an Xbox. It's the
We
only
may have
place
to
to
get it for
It-
that
we don't
game.
have.
It's probably on Steam as well, maybe. So I'm.
I googled it. It says it's not. That's why I'm like,
Oh, okay.
You might have to get.
Yeah.
you know, we collect our games anyway, so
Yeah, I'm a
we have to get one
physical.
anyway.
Yeah, I'm a physical guy. I don't like digital, but uh,
Yeah.
to give you an idea, the the lead character, his name is Kime, and he's an immortal, and he's lived for over 1,000 years. And there are little stories, like well written novel-esque stories in the game that come to you as dreams that he remembers because he lost his memories, and he remembers in his dreams, and they talk about his life. And just imagine living for 1,000 years unable to die, and you have loved, lost, fought in wars, been tortured, and
That's depressing.
yeah, it is.
But
And
do the characters grow? Like, do you grow with them? Is that
I don't want to
You'd
say.
love it if it's depressing.
I don't want to
We're gonna
say.
get it today. We're gonna get a console.
if it has good character growth and story, then I would get into it. I cried at every game I played. I pretty much cried at the end of. So
Oh, you'll definitely be feeling something with this. I'll even say that it's a bittersweet ending.
That's how it was with Grandia 3, but it's because it was so fucking hard and overpowered to a ridiculous
yeah,
extent. Then when I finally beat it, I was like,
Mass Effect 3 was a very bittersweet end. I chose an ending that not most people choose, and I didn't realize it, but it is the right ending for me.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I probably choose the most popular one because, yeah, we won't spoil it, but I do love the Mass Effect series, and hopefully this next one is good because Andromeda dropped the ball.
I heard that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the gameplay in Andromeda, the combat's amazing. Like, I love that. The graphics are really good, but the story and the character, it dropped the ball. They messed up
Yeah.
there. But
I have to have character growth, or I don't get into it at all. I won't play it.
yeah.
But Mass Effect 3 is one of my favorite games of all time now. And it wasn't before, but man,
Yeah,
all of those do that to me. Deus Ex, Mass Effect, Metro 2030. Oh my god, that game had me in tears at the end.
yeah. So
Ugh.
and isn't it amazing though how stories can do that too? These fictional worlds, these fictional
Magic.
characters, it's amazing. Like, what the heck? Why am I feeling something over this? Come on, it's pixels. it's ink.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be feeling this.
That when every time you can see, if you ever see my Google search history, which it's very boring because I usually I get help with walkthroughs and stuff because sometimes I get frustrated and can't find a spot. You can see at the end of every one of these series of games that I played and I like games that have more than one version, like first, second, and third, because I need time. I need longer time in it.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I end a game, you'll see my Google search results. Is it normal to feel this way about a stupid game? Like, why am I so emotional? I spent yesterday 4 hours of YouTube videos about how it's okay to feel emotions in video games. I'm not crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Every time.
you're supposed to feel something though. If you don't feel anything, then the game failed. Like whether it's anger, love, sadness, sorrow, whatever. You're supposed to feel something. I would be concerned if you didn't.
Yeah. Yep. Telling you, it's something.
I'm thinking you would probably like Final Fantasy 15. And it's a weird one because the story's fragmented throughout various media. But when you really take a moment and really look at it all and piece it together and you get to the ending, oh boy, you might have some waterworks.
Final Fantasy 15?
Mm-hmm.
I have played one Final Fantasy and it was on the Wii, and I don't remember which one.
If it was on the Wii, it was the Crystal Chronicles.
It is. That sounds exactly right. It was just the wrong time for me to start it.
Yeah,
So
Chris.
now my next I think is The Witcher.
Oh, you're in for a ride. You are
I
in
don't know if I
for a
have to
ride.
like do I have to start it at the beginning or
You.
it's
It helps, but you don't have to. It does help, but you don't have to. Witcher 3, you're in for a freaking ride. All right. Oh boy. Yeah.
excited.
You are, oh
I,
man, I'm excited for you. I wish I could replay that game for the first time again.
my friend told me that she's like, you've got to play it. She's like, but you will be feeling at the end of it. I'm like,
Witcher?
okay.
Mhm.
I have one of them on
JC
PlayStation.
JC was the one that told me to get it.
I think it's 4 maybe. Witcher 4.
Yeah,
I got
you
it
There's
on
mean,
not a 4 out
PlayStation.
yeah,
yet.
part 3.
Part 3.
That's 3. But anywho, but yeah, no, I'm sorry. I think I cut you off with the Final Fantasy thing. I definitely will
Yeah, I've
put on my
definitely
list.
play 15. You will, it's again, it's weird with 15 because it can be overwhelming gameplay wise because they sort of just toss you in a big open world and it's just like, okay, what do I do here? But when you get to the story bits and the adventure itself and you reflect on it, that's why the emotions hit you and it's like, oh my gosh, this really was a journey, and it sneaks up on you. It's a sneaky deceptive game, but it's really good.
I like those. I call myself a glutton for punishment because there's something about that sadness that you feel when one's over, the almost abandonment of the game when it abandons you.
Oh
Uh,
boy. Yeah.
that when you get to it, it hurts, and I feel it's one of the things that makes me feel good about being human. Like that experience, I think, is what my soul is trying to find. That's why I want more of it.
That's actually something very interesting. Being human. What does it mean to be human?
For me, like that obviously is not a question you can answer. It really ever. It's an ongoing, forever answered. But the first thing that comes to my mind is just that it's in my belief system. Um, and I hope this is true. But being human is literally just a way for our soul to experience things that it can't otherwise experience. So it's like my soul is playing a video game right now for these next 80 years. Well, next 40 years.
Oh, you
Um,
never know. It could be 80. So
yeah,
never say never.
I would hope so because I am one of those people that, despite all the heartache, I would want forever. They're like, you really? You'd want to live and see your loves die? I'm like, yeah, but you experience so much. I would want to end it at some point, I think.
Yeah,
But
well, let's be honest. It's not that people don't want to live old. They don't want to lose their faculties. They don't want to
Yeah.
become
correct.
dependent and lose themselves. So that's
Yeah.
really what it is, which I totally understand. So,
Oh yeah. And I'm personally okay with loss of some physical abilities, but it's the mental ones that I'm afraid of. Like if I get to the point where I don't move well, which I will, I'll be tired and all those things. I can handle most of that, but if I can't think, I don't think I can manage that.
yeah. So, Rook, what about you? What does it mean to be human for you? Even though there's no exact answer, but still.
Human, I think it's a just on a basic level, being able to allow myself to make mistakes, but move forward without repeating them and treat other people the same way. But be human to me, to get back to that, is being more in touch with the environment and the earth, because I think in doing so we figure out more about who we are. And that's one thing I'm trying to do, to be more conscious and aware and take little moments to connect to the earth, because I feel like that really tells us a lot about, or it gives a sense about who we are. Makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense to me. I understand where you're coming from, and unfortunately, we really are disconnected from the earth, whether it's because we're too distracted trying to make a living, or we just take it for granted and we don't think about it. And it's just one of those things, but connection is very important. I mean, we are part of the world. It's our home.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, speaking of being a part of a world, did you guys hear that scientists say that they've discovered proof or
Yes.
probable proof on Mars that life could have existed there?
Yes.
Ew.
Which I
What
think
you
we've
hear?
thought for a long time that, which again, magic is science we haven't discovered yet. Like that, I think is what that and the discovery of another solar system orbiting a star.
Yeah.
So are
in
they
this last
saying
week.
like
It's
that
crazy?
that civilization was there and they kind of like think they used it up and then moved on to other
Well,
planets,
they're
or
I
they're
think we're the
just
outcome of it.
they're basically saying that life could have been possible. They don't know if it was a civilization or anything like that. They're being very cautious with their words, and rightfully so, because then you'll get nuts
Yeah.
like me saying it was aliens. I told you.
We're
So-
the aliens.
we're the aliens.
We were
I
the
do
ones
agree
that
with
we
that.
colonized Mars,
I think
and we
could be
blew
the
it up.
aliens.
We didn't take care of it, and now we had to move here.
And I hope we
So-
don't mess up any more planets. I mean,
We
if
will.
the
That's our
case.
story.
Well,
Humans are destructive.
there is something to that, but in a different way. So I don't know if you guys listened to last podcast, but it was an alien show, which I very rarely have, but I love having them. And I was speaking with Christine, and she was talking about this planet being seeded and allegedly by Arcturians. And I know you guys are like, what's an Arcturian? Well,
I've heard that before. I think on your show, I've
What's
listened to some
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
those.
but basically,
From Arcturus.
yeah, Arcturians are supposed to be the architects of this galaxy, and they're supposed to be the oldest species, and they've evolved to a higher dimensional level, blah blah blah. But one of the stories says that humans, we advance so far in the future that we become very different looking. We evolve into something else, and it was supposed to be Zeta Grays. And the Zeta Grays that visit us are actually us from a future where we damaged the world so badly it changed us. And they've come back to try and stop us from messing up, and apparently if we don't, they're just going to blow up the world and be done with it. Allegedly. That's just one of the stories. But here's the problem with that, because now we're looking at how time works. If it's linear, then sure, but time isn't linear. It branches off, and even if you change the past, it only affects that timeline you're in, and it creates a branch to a different timeline. So they say if someone were to travel back in time and they change something, the timeline still remains the same, but when they go to the future, they will be the only one able to tell that something has changed, but that's in that new timeline. The original timeline still continues and nothing changes there. Confusing,
Like
I
an
know.
alternate dimension.
Yeah. A parallel alternate dimension.
What does it say about me that it makes sense?
Yeah. Oh, okay, good.
So
so
we've had talks about this before.
Yeah.
I don't know Brad's really feelings on it, but
I would be interested to hear more.
I need Jeremy on this.
yeah, so they say that you can't actually change the past to create a better future, because it just doesn't work. Whatever timeline is created, it's going to stay that way, and you just create a branch that other people can't get to, and the time traveler might go to, and he would be the only one to notice a difference. And now we go into the okay, so oh gosh, what is okay? So killing Hitler. There we go. That's always the thing. Would
Yeah.
you go back in time and kill baby Hitler? Some people say yes. Some people say no. He's innocent. Kill him right when he loses his innocence. That's terrible, but I get where they're coming from. Okay, so you do that and you change the timeline. The problem is if it's an event, because history has a weird way of repeating itself and making sure things happen. Who's to say someone else just won't come up and take his place who might be even worse, or he might succeed in taking the Axis powers worldwide and the US doesn't get involved and blah, blah, blah.
That's a good.
So you going back to try and change the timeline and make things better could ultimately make a new timeline where things are amazingly worse. And because what's going to be is going to be.
Yeah.
And that's
That's big.
One way or another.
So
it also throws in some concerns or questions, not concerns, questions about the belief system that there's infinite possibilities of infinite dimensions, or are there specific dimensions where there's alternates and branches versus every single possibility side by side? Like quantum theory kind of thing.
Yeah, and from the alien world, they say there's actually 13 dimensions. But they don't specify if it, now this is where it gets confusing again. They don't specify if it goes like an elevator up and down, or if it's parallel and goes side by side. So
the parallel theory.
Yeah, so if it's parallel, chances are it's infinite. If it goes up and down, then I would say there's probably a limit to it. Even though it's like the sky's the limit, well, it got in somewhere eventually. But that's actually one of the discussions I had with Christine, and it makes you wonder, like, because okay, let's say that we're the third rock from the sun, and we're supposed to be on a 3D plane as well. All right, so let's imagine an elevator, and we're on the third floor. Here we are. What else is on that third floor with us? Well, we have all the space and this universe. We'll say it's all on the third floor. And this is just what's in front of us that we can see, that we can walk through. Now, there's a neighboring building next to us that's also on the third floor. They have their own elevator and all that. And they have a third floor that's on this physical plane. But because of all these walls and layers, we can't exactly see what's in that building, what's over there, but it's parallel to us. So what's going on there? How do we get there, and what would be different? So it would be similar, but different. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Nope. Makes sense.
So,
I'd be interested to explore that further one day. That's and very interesting.
So
Jeremy would really like this talk.
We have a friend that's like obsessive over like aliens and stuff, and just spirituality in the world. He had an experience that I think flipped a switch in him one day. So this is right up it's up our alley too, but we're newer to the conversation.
Yeah.
Like I'm currently reading Dolores Cannon. I don't know if you're familiar with her. But she has this theory, this book called The Custodians, and the Convoluted Universe, where she talks about all of these things. Very neat. And she does a very specific type of hypnosis for people who have had alien encounters and experiences. She's since passed, but her family continues her Facebook or YouTube. It's very, very neat stuff. And one of her big things is that we're on the 5th iteration of 7 major humanity extinctions, and we're getting closer, but we haven't got it right yet. So this 5th version will go extinct again, and another one will rise.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I always thought Dolores was interesting, especially when she said that she contacted Nostradamus, which I was like, how did that go? And what else is interesting is that the 7 extinctions, it lines up with some Japanese lore that states the world is going to end 7 times. and it went into detail on what causes the destruction. Like one was water, ice. One said leopards. I don't necessarily understand that one, but sure.
Sure.
And,
Why
and
not? Not
one,
panthers, but leopards.
yeah, and one of them, which I think is the most interesting and the most realistic, was fire. And we are seeing some type of increase in heat. There is some form of climate change happening. Now, of course, folks will get into like, oh, it's natural, it's supposed to happen. But, I will say this. I don't know if there's enough proof to say if it's man made or if it's a natural occurrence. But I will say we've probably helped accelerate it. So,
Yeah, for sure. I don't even like my brain doesn't focus on the shoot. What would we just say? Global warming.
yeah.
Even though I do believe it's a problem, I focus really more on, just whatever we can do to prevent the extinction of other species, we really should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you not want to use less resources if possible?
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
Because we're people are not a good. We are the infection on the earth, and that's why it's getting hot because infection causes heat.
Like even going to like our kava bars and stuff. Well, if they start using these freaking plastic disposable cups, it makes me just like go crazy. Like, why do we do that? Styrofoam, it's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we use it? It just to think about all this stuff, the trash and garbage.
Because it's easier.
It's really could be a lot more cognizant and better stewards of our.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So unfortunately, and then here's the most messed up thing is, and this is a very, very much a human mindset. It's like, I'll be dead. Someone else can handle it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what? No, you're messing up for future generations. Come on.
But if we don't see it, like it's out of our mind. Like we don't see constant pictures of like the waste and stuff. It's like, oh, it's kind of.
Yeah.
We just don't, it's not there. We don't think about it.
Yeah. And you know what? This is actually going to go full circle here because that's sort of how some people see magic. Even though you might see it every day, but because of how we relate to it or some relate to it, it's like, that's not magic. It's whatever. Sometimes you have to see it to believe it or experience it. But even when you experience it, someone comes with an excuse. And it's like, no, I didn't experience that. That was nothing. It's like, but it was really something.
Yeah. I hear that a lot with experiences. And they're like, oh, they're, just shoving it down like it was nothing. And, sure, we can rationalize it out. And if that's what makes us feel comfortable. But where's the growth in that?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, and you don't have to make something that isn't.
No.
Why not evaluate it at least and say, was that something? Just think about it. Consider that it could be something you don't understand.
Yeah, and it's okay to say, I don't understand this. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing. I don't understand this. It's kind of freaky, and we're just going to roll with it. Not everything needs an explanation, and I almost view it like stage magic because when you know how the trick is done, the magic is gone.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And sometimes you're just better off going with it. Like, all right, maybe that was something, and just go with it. Heck, it doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah. And then just sometimes it's fun just to think, oh, it's unexplained. And let's just leave it that way. Sometimes the unexplained is nice.
I think there are some experiences in the world that we are supposed to just feel and let it course through us and not try to explain it.
Yeah. Do you have any of those experiences?
I think I have quite a few of them. My head tries to make them explainable. One of the most common ones that happens is when I'm randomly doing something and just out of nowhere, you get this feeling of, you know what, I really just enjoy this music or this sound, or this just makes me feel comfortable and at home. Or it's usually music for me. I'll hear this and like ambient music or some type of binaural beats or just something, and I'm like, how can you not think that there's something bigger?
Mhm.
And those things I don't ever try to explain. I just take it as I just felt an experience from being a human being. I don't know what it means, and we will see. We'll let it pass through us. We'll enjoy it. We'll find comfort in it, and just move on. Because if I sit and try to explain it, I think it loses its meaning.
Yeah, and we don't want that to happen. Just go with it. Like, if you feel something, you feel it. Don't try to explain it. Embrace it and say, okay, let's feel more of this. Let's go.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
about,
definitely
oh,
evaluating your, where things are, what you're thinking, and recognizing that some things are okay. If I don't understand it, just say I don't understand that. It's
uh,
okay.
what about you, Rook? Have you had one of those, like, I can't explain this, it just feels good, I'm going with the moments?
Yeah. So one, I was very young, probably 9 or 10, and my aunt called out to me and said, "Come here, come here." She called me to her room, and in the closet, she had several like folded blankets and sheets, and on one of them, like it had these little like depressions or indentions, like it was a rumpled area of the sheet or whatever. She goes, "Look at that! What? Like, do you see anything there?" And I immediately, it was those little impressions and creases and stuff and folds. It looked like the image of the face of what people traditionally depict like Jesus is looking
I
like,
don't know which aunt this is.
and you couldn't deny it. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, that looks like Jesus. And we couldn't explain it. And I was like, okay, that there's no way for me to explain that. But it was kind of like, even at that young age, of something saying, hey, there's stuff that I didn't think of it this way at the time, but magical or spirit. There's things that just occur, you know. And then a few times in my life when I've really needed something like help or whatever, and I'm always the person that believes you have to like do some work to manifest things. But it was for a couple times things that I needed like money for, and I tried to figure out what I was going to do, and then it would always come through like from somebody, either like my mom or alone or something when I needed it. And mind you, I was working if I had to, I'd work a second job or whatever. But there was ways that came through, and I can't explain like how the people or whatever aligned with me when I needed it. And then the last one, about 3 years ago, I had this dream about an employee. Well, and I'll take it back. We first went to a medium the first time, and she immediately told me about an employee that I was having difficulty with.
Mm-hmm.
Without saying anything, she said, "This is this person, and she's doing this, and you need to watch her," without any prompting. And then a little bit later, I had a dream that employee, gave her notice. She said, "I want to give this to you." It was a letter of resignation. And when I had that dream, I sat up, right in the bed because this is someone that was mentioned by the medium. And then sure enough, I asked her Monday, I said, "Hey, is everything going okay? Are you?" "No, it's fine. I'm not looking, or I don't need anything." And 3 weeks later or so, she came and gave me her letter of resignation in the office that was in my dream. Everything was just like exactly. So I can't explain those things. And if I tried, I couldn't. But it's those things that left me kind of in awe. And I don't want an explanation for them.
Mm-hmm.
They were just really neat.
That is neat.
Sorry, I didn't mean to extend my time, but
Oh no,
those were
please
the
extend it.
dreams.
No,
Sorry.
These are making stuff up.
yeah, no, first of all, there is no time limit, and you guys
Okay.
are the bosses. You could extend, do whatever you want. I'm just the mouth. So it's fine. You're
You
good.
you
But
did remind me of something though about the dogs. Like one thing I can't explain is these dogs, all of them seem to have, and I think this is completely true. They have precognition of things.
Hmm.
Um, it's just weird. Like they will know that I'm going to do something before I do it.
Oh, like if you're upset or whatever. Yeah.
Definitely. So, when I get like Finn and Ma Petite, they sit with me all day long when I'm working from home. And if I get like mad, I'm like, and I just say, oh shit, this is ridiculous. Finn will get up and leave like immediately.
He senses your energy shift.
So I stopped doing that because I didn't want to scare him off.
Yeah.
But so now I don't say anything, but I still think it. He still gets up and without saying a word. I don't do anything different, and he just gets. And he looks, and I know he knows that I'm frustrated. He does not want to be around me, and he knows like with just very little cues that I'm getting ready to leave or out for a clingier. So I can't explain that, but
he knows. It's cute and true.
You know, I've heard that your soul family stays together through eons. I don't know how much I believe about it, all the details, but they say people in your soul group, and they stick with you life after life after life. So they're animals souls that you've known before.
Okay, we're back. I know you guys experienced a cut there. Like, what the heck? Well, we were having some technical difficulties, which, you know, it's unexplained. It's always going to happen. That's a sign of a good show at this point. That's how it is. Okay, so I want to ask you something out of left field. I probably asked you this before, but what would you guys do if you saw an alien? Like, and we'll keep it simple, a gray Orion alien. What would you do? Like, you're at home. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if I saw an alien and I didn't get or see anything aggressive, I'd try to talk to it. See if it could understand or we could communicate. That would be my first thing. I'd be afraid a little bit, but I mean, if they weren't holding like some type of space laser or gun or, you know, coming with a whole horde, then I would be just like, hey, like, who are you? What can we communicate here? Can we talk? Like, I really do believe we are not originally from Earth. Like, I truly believe that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what I believe in that regards, which is interesting, because normally I'm so sure of stuff when it comes to that, but I don't know, because I've heard so many different things, and on one hand I want to say this planet was seeded, on another hand I want to say you know, just evolution, but then it's who says you can't have a hand in evolution? So I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah. I think that we have more evidence now that different species were side by side at the same time. Like, we didn't evolve from Neanderthals.
I mean,
Neanderthals were present among others. So I just kind of get that. I think there's truth to evolution science, and I just don't understand all the details yet. But I don't think this is where our main species originated from.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that, because there are humanoid, or rather straight up human looking extraterrestrials out there, namely the Nordic or the Pleiadians, and they, people who have come across them said they pass for human. In fact, actually, I'll tell you the story in a second, but Rook, what would you do? Because I don't want to jump topic to that, but what would you do if you saw an Orion gray alien?
And what were you saying? Like, you were starting to say, like, if we were at home and
Yeah,
we were given, like, a scenario, or...
if you're at home relaxing, because this kind of happened to Bonnie. If you're at home relaxing and
Bonnie.
you look through the window, your living room window outside, and you just see this tall figure looking in at you, and it's just like, oh gosh. And
I would.
And it may or may not enter. What would you do?
I would try to make contact, you know, if I were able to, like, physically, and I would, like, put my hand up in a wave, kind of see what it does, because I'd want to communicate with it in some way. I'd probably be a little anxious. I don't know that. I guess it would depend on how how the being was wanting us to feel, but I would be very curious and anxious, probably a little scared, but but I want to, from a distance, kind of look in the direction of their eyes and wave and see how they indicate to proceed. And then if it looks good, or if they waved back or nodded, I would begin to walk towards it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would want to engage.
Yeah.
okay. You both are very, very brave. And they say,
What I mean,
well, I mean, well, that's like asking, are humans mean? Like, well, yeah. I mean, it depends on who you come across. I
Yep,
mean,
that's us.
oh, there it goes. We cut it out.
Oh.
Just FYI, we lost 15 seconds.
Oh, shoot. Well, son of a monkey's
But
uncle.
we're back.
Okay. I was saying that you guys are very brave, and that grays, they say that looking them in the eye, it puts you under a type of hypnosis and paralyzation. I mean, I suppose if they want that to happen, and that's usually when they take you and all that. And Rose, my very first co-host, because Mystic, you mentioned a laser gun or something. My very first co-host, she had interactions with Zeta Grays, and they would knock her out by shining some type of light in her eye. And one moment, she was on her couch just relaxing, and this light gets it's blinding her. It's in her eyes, and she just instantly blacks out, and she wakes up and her PJs are on backwards.
Oh God. Ah.
That is
Ooh,
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made it even better was they took some dog biscuits. So it's like-
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Well, maybe we're a little not smart to be looking
Naive.
at them. Yeah,
I mean, I am definitely naive, but like that, I'd want to know more about, especially if it's bipedal and human-like.
Yeah. And this reminds me of, two stories. So, the first is there are humanoid looking ETs and ones that just straight up pass for humans. And this happened in Australia years ago. And you can look this story up. It's a popular one. I just can't remember the names because I want to. But a guy, he comes
Right.
home and everything, and I believe his family was like just in a stasis or something. It was very weird, and he was feeling groggy and whatnot. He goes to his bathroom, and two naked women show up there. And he's just like, what the heck? And one looked Asian, one looked Scandinavian. And he was sort of in a panic because that's not normal. I mean, like, I guess it's some guy's dreams, but it's not normal. And they were trying to like seduce him or get him going. But according to him, he said they didn't really know what they were doing, it seemed like. And the blonde one was touching and kissing on him, and she put her boob in his mouth or something like that, or she brought his head to her boobies, and he was freaking out, so he bit off her nipple.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Now here's the thing.
Wasn't expecting that.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
either.
No, here's the thing though. She didn't scream. She wasn't in pain. She just looked to her friend and was like, I don't think this is going right. It's almost like that type of thing. Like, this isn't right. And he blacked out. And when he woke up, everyone was fine. Everything was normal. But whenever he went to use the restroom, he felt excruciating pain. It was like, oh my God, why is this hurt? And it turns out it was a piece of hair, blonde hair on his foreskin. And it was sent to a lab. And it came back like, yeah, this is some European DNA in here, but it's other stuff that we don't know what it is.
That's insane.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta read up on that story.
Oh yeah, it's a really good one. It's very popular. You'll find it instantly. And the second one, and this one you won't find anywhere because this was from my friend AP. But it's a funny one. I told this story before, and I don't know if you guys heard it or not. Probably not. But AP, Alien Photog, and he had very many alien experiences with Orion Grays. And one night he's driving home, and late at night in Colorado, his wife is asleep in the car, his daughter's asleep in the car, so it's just him. And he feels like they're around. When you get visited enough, you start feeling their presence and you can communicate. And he feels like they're around, and he's like, hey, I want to see you guys. I'm ready to see you. I don't want my memories wiped. I want to know what's up. And he said that he heard a voice say, okay, go over here. And what was over there was a high school. So it's like, okay, this is convenient. So parks the car, he gets out, and he goes to the football field. And he walks to about the 50-yard line, and he's looking around. It's like, why am I here at night? This is how, a slasher movie starts.
Right.
And he said that in an instant, he saw just a quick light, and he saw these several tall beings at the end zone. And he was like, oh my God, what else are you going to say? And that's all fine and dandy. But what did it was, for some reason, they all decided to run at him. And needless to say, he freaks out and he starts running away like, nope, can't do it. And the last thing he remembered was a hand touching his shoulder. And then he woke up in his car. Like,
that is insane.
yeah. So be careful what
Was
you
his
wish
family
for.
still asleep?
Yeah, they were knocked out. They didn't know what
Knocked out.
happened. I don't think I think this one, a few moments too, where he didn't gain time or anything. He woke up. It was just like, what the heck? And he was freaking out, kind of freaking out, not super freaked out, but it was enough. And this is also the same friend who had his body reject an implant and it shot out of his knee. And I really have to find those pictures so I can show everyone.
Yeah, that'd be very cool to see.
Yeah, I have to find them. I have them somewhere, but yeah, an implant was in his knee, his body rejected it, and it shot out, and he was taking pictures of it and everything. It's so gross. But you also see this little metal thing, and it's like, what is that?
You ever find out what it was? Like, take it to somebody, or
No one knows what it is. It's just some type of little metal. That's all they could say. It's like, we don't know what this is. They don't even know what type of metal it is.
that's insane. I love that kind of story, though.
Yeah, so he's had quite the experiences. His life story is really interesting, but unfortunately, it's a tragic ending. But I try to remember the good stuff.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, so be careful what you wish for now, because you put that energy out there, and ET will, hey, hi.
You said you wanted to see.
Yeah, so
Yeah, okay.
here we are. But so
Take it back. I take it back.
you might be saying that because it's not that we're trying to be rude or anything like that. It's just seeing something that looks so different than what you see in everyday life. It's jarring, and just you have to calm yourself down and really try to understand this, and imagine meeting some form of some being from a far off distant planet light years away. And let's put that into perspective. They are able to travel through space in minutes and appear, and light years are nothing. How advanced do you have to be to do that and just appear and disappear at will and can pick up on your brain waves or hear your thoughts or whatever. They can single you out.
Yeah, I mean that just the idea that that even exists is mind blowing to me. Even though I do believe it does, I've never experienced it, and I wish I had.
Yeah,
But like you said, be careful what you wish for.
yeah, seriously, be careful what you wish for. And then of course you have the government that's ready to knock on doors as well. Like, hey, that happened. Oh, excuse me. That happened to someone else. I will never say his name, and people, they can believe it if they want or if they don't want to, but he had major alien interactions. At one point, they would just prank him, and this is on video, where he would get random calls. It would just be a female's voice. He could call a number and it's a female's voice, and then they would hear footsteps in the attic, and no one's up there. It's just him and his wife. They don't have kids from what I recall. And people go up there. It's nothing up there. One day he comes home, his furniture's on the roof. Like, what? How did your furniture get on the roof of your house? How did that happen?
The heck?
Yeah, and then his captures were very interesting, and he actually figured out some type of scientific formula, and it was proven real a few years ago. And well, more than a few years ago, but this he's as dumb as a brick. He's not intelligent. And I'm not saying that to hurt anyone's feelings or his feelings or nothing, but he's stupid, and he will admit to this. Like, I'm dumb. I don't know this stuff. And he was talking about aliens too much, and the government knocked on his door and they told him, shut up. Don't talk about this stuff. You're done. And he didn't listen. And he kept talking about it. And they came back and said, all right, you're done. And they said that he was I'm trying to think of the PC terminology, but we'll just say things with underage people. And he's not at all. And his wife was fighting for him, and she found out that the sheriff was corrupt in that town, and they legit set him up, but it didn't matter. He went against the government, and they said, shut up. And what would happen, and it sounds like something out of a freaking fairy tale, but what would happen was these guys would show up in a van, beat him up every day, and then take off like clockwork every day. And he knew, like, time for your beating, get over here. And he was with his wife one day, saw the van, he said, all right, here we go. And he just walks on over there, gets beat up, they leave, and he continues on.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Our government's definitely corrupt, beyond corrupt.
Yeah.
There's no question there.
And all because, like, they told him, don't talk about aliens, shut up. He didn't listen. And that's why sometimes I don't always talk about the alien stuff. It's rare I have the alien show because I don't want to knock on the door. If you tell me to shut up, I'm shutting up. I know nothing. I don't even, what?
Yep, never happened, I promise.
I don't think nothing.
Yeah. So, oh gosh, I didn't mean to hijack the last few minutes of this, but sorry. Sorry,
That's
everybody.
fine.
I enjoy the conversation.
Yeah.
Fun. I don't know a lot about it, but
Enjoy
it is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, definitely look into the alien thing. It's interesting, and it's also scary because I want to put this the right way, but I guess it's something that is more tangible because this is something that will be able to touch you, and you're aware it's touching you, and it's not much you can do about it. If it happens, it happens.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I want to know.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to ask for it, though.
Yeah, I mean, definitely be careful what you ask for, because it will happen. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but it will happen. But also, your dogs would alert you though. They they will be yapping. "Rah, rah, 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 rah." You'll be like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" But
They definitely know things. There's
yeah.
no question.
So, I wonder why that is though. Like, why are animals more in tune than we are?
I think it's because they don't have all the noise we have.
Okay.
There's that I like to hear the testing that they do in the quietest place on Earth, which is I think negative 24 decibels, which I didn't even know was possible. And they say it's so quiet in there that after a few minutes you can hear your own blood moving through your blood vessels
Mm.
and your own heartbeat and your muscles twitching and movements. And that, they would pay somebody $1 million to stay in it overnight, but people after about like 5 minutes, they're so disconcerted they get out, they can't stay in it.
Wow.
And it's for testing, but
Yeah.
I just thought that was read that article just the other day, and I'm like, yeah, I think that's part of it. I also think that, what our senses are capable of seeing is very, very limited compared to others. Obviously, we know that, but I think dogs have, and I don't even call it extrasensory perception, but just perception that's outside of what we see and hear and feel. But we have the ability to, if we would, put things down and try to learn it. So that's part of my process.
Well, you have to keep us updated on that. So, watch you turn into a superhero or something. Sensory man,
trying.
here I am.
I'm trying. I haven't got there yet.
So before we close out, are you guys up to anything coming? What's going on?
We have kind of restarted our Sunday podcast. We had stopped it for a while. It's almost every week. We're putting some new small quick videos together to kind of miss, because a couple of local things that we do now on Sunday mornings. But I mean, that's really it. We're just keeping our Sunday show together as much as possible to have conversations with things, and just still developing ourselves the same way we always do, left foot, right foot. I'm going to start traveling for work again soon, so really next week. So I'm making it a really important thing to pay attention to what's going on as I'm in these other areas, which will be nice.
Yeah. Okay. And if people wanted to reach out and yap with you or just watch the show, where can they go to do that?
Two Pondering Pagans on YouTube is our channel. So it's youtube.com/@2ponderingpagans. That's where we put up all of our stuff YouTube-wise. And from there, you can access our Discord and all those other things. And we do have some random Discords where we'll just open the line and start talking with people and hanging out.
Right on. And guys, I can vouch for Rook and Mystic. They're some of the nicest people you can know, and just very open, very loving. So definitely go check them out, okay? And while at it, be sure to follow Unexplained Possibilities on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed, and all that fun stuff.
Yep, always. You are a great host. We truly enjoy it every time, and love to be on, and just honored to be asked to hear our voice.
So, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And as always, remember guys, there are things that go bump in the night. Go ahead and tell them hi. Bye everybody.